Hello, I'm Kat. Welcome to this channel. Over 200 classes to choose from in playlists, and the link to that is below. And welcome to today's practice. Never stop moving. So we're going to start with our mats straight up against the wall, perpendicular, in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Gathering all of your yoga stuff, and let's meet right there. We're going to be doing 3 Adho Mukha Svanasana with the backs of our heels, not the bottom. The backs of the heels pressing against the wall, and between them we'll be walking forward to Ardha Uttanasana. So placing the hands, spreading the palms, spreading the fingers, and straightening the legs, walking the feet back, the heels are lifted, the backs of the heels pressing into the wall. Spread the toes and broaden the balls of the feet. Make sure that the ankles aren't collapsing. Press the heels back, press the front thighs back, lift the sit bones higher and higher to the sky, and feel the armpit area opening, the triceps opening, the spine lengthening. And now walking forward, feet the width of the mat, fingertips on the floor, and looking up, Ardha Uttanasana. Press down into the feet and suck the kneecaps up, the thigh muscles up. Sharpen the action of the femur bone coming into the hip sockets. Press the back ribs in and move the sternum forward, relaxing the face. And now bending the knees, placing the hands on the floor for our second Adho Mukha Svanasana. And with an exhale, push the heels back into the wall, push the front thighs back, re-stretch the arms, and feel the weight of the pose moving away from the hands, moving back. One more time, push the front thighs back. And walking forward for our second Ardha Uttanasana. Fingertips on the floor, pressing down in order to lift up. Roll the inner groins back. Pull the quadricep muscles up so they're wrapping around the thigh bones, bringing sharpness. Broadening the shoulders, breathing. And then bending the knees, placing the hands, spreading the fingers even more widely apart, and stepping back to our third Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the fingertips up and lift the toes up. Keep pushing the front thighs back, getting that length, feeling that beautiful tearing sensation in the armpits and the skin of the armpits. And now walking forward, feet the width of the mat, and this time full Padangusthasana. Looking up first, replicating the movements of our Ardha Uttanasana, and then exhaling forward, Padangusthasana. Elbows widening apart, shoulders broadening. The cervical spine releasing completely. And then releasing the hands, hands on the hips, elbows back, and inhaling up. And stepping the feet together, Tadasana. Alright, simplified Parsvottanasana, a version using the wall that simultaneously beautifully opens the arms and the side waist and all other areas here for you that might be tight. So we're going to start with the right leg forward and the left leg back. You're lifting your right foot up so that it's against the wall like this and stepping the left leg back. Straightening the legs, turning the hips to face the wall. Grip the legs, and now walk the hands up. Lengthen, lengthen. Keep turning the hips to the right, the front hips going back. And now exhale and bring the forehead to the wall. Keep pushing firmly into the outside edge of that back heel. Keep gripping the femur bones into the hip sockets. Feel the armpits opening, the intercostal muscles stretching. And then bringing the forehead away. Sliding the arms down and changing sides. Left leg forward, right leg back. Turn the hips, grip the legs. Begin to walk the hands up the wall. And then when you're ready, move the hips and buttocks back and bring the forehead to the wall. Staying aware of our hips and their tendency to move to the right, to accommodate. Keep rolling the front right pelvic bone to the left, rolling the back thigh in, pressing the back heel down, and gripping the femur bones into the hip sockets. And then sliding hands back down and changing sides again. Right foot forward, and this time taking more distance, moving that left foot back wider, wider, wider. Turning the hips to face the front, gripping the legs. Make sure you're pulling the muscles up. You're not just pressing the back of the knee open. Grip these muscles up. Now move the hands up the wall and bringing the forehead to the wall. It may be more on the crown of the head than the forehead on this version. Press the back heel down, move that front hip back. Keep gripping the legs. And then sliding the hands back down, moving the back foot in and changing sides. Left leg forward, moving that right leg back, getting extra distance, turning the hips, gripping the legs, and now walking the hands up. And when you're ready, moving the hips back, as the trunk comes forward, bringing the forehead or the crown of the head just underneath it to the wall. Making sure you're staying in the center, wherever your head is connecting. Grip that front thigh up, don't let it drop, grip it up, femur bones firm. Press the back heel back, roll the back thigh in. Keep the arms vibrant, the hands pressing. And then bringing the hands back down the wall, moving the back foot in. and releasing. Ardha Mukha Svanasana with our hands against the wall, so the thumb and the index finger connecting to the wall. Press the heels down, move the shins back, move the front thighs back. Relax the cervical spine completely. And now walk the feet forward, feet the width of the mat, Pada Hastasana. So placing the hands underneath the feet. First of all, inhale, looking up, Ardha. Grip the legs, inner groins rolling back. And then exhale forward. Releasing our hands to the hips, inhaling up, and Talasana. Alright, taking a strap, Upa Vishta Konasana. We can come a little bit away from the wall. And we're making a loop with our strap for the width of our feet. So quite a big loop, placing the feet inside, widening, seeing, turning the toes slightly in. You want to really feel the action of the strap on the outside edge of those feet, pressing into them. Grip the legs up, hands on the hips, elbows back. Inhale, exhaling forward. Feeling the strap, keep gripping the legs, fingertips to the floor. Connect with the strap again. Inhale. And exhaling down, moving the hands back to the straps. Move the elbows to the shoulders and feel the shoulders lift. Scoop the outer arms towards each other so that the elbows stay parallel. Re-squeeze the knees, re-squeeze the thigh muscles up, re-grip the sit bones up. Keeping the hands where they are. Inhale, look up. And now move the hands and make your loop even wider. And wider. Fingertips on the floor underneath the shoulders now. Connect with the outer edges of your feet and the strap and the sensation that they're bringing. Inhale. And exhaling forward, crown of the head to the floor. Hands back on the strap. Check that your elbows are parallel and move the elbows to the shoulders and feel the shoulders lift, the upper back become engaged. Now move the hands back behind the strap, still in the same positioning, and as the hands move back, come onto the back of the skull. And now move the hands back to the strap and come onto the crown of the head. Elbows to the shoulders, lift the shoulders. And now move the hands back again and come onto the back of the head. Re-grip the legs. Feel the strap. And now move the hands forward again to the strap and come onto the crown of the head. Check your arms, check your shoulders.
And then inhale, looking up, placing the hands on the hips, elbows back, and inhaling up. And releasing. So we can move our straps to the side, taking a blanket. You can use a wall if you want to. We're coming to Shirshasana 2. Ready for Shirshasana 2. So we've just done the hand positions in our Prasarita Padmanasana. So we're going to replicate that with the same attention to the elbows not splaying and the elbows moving towards the shoulders to lift and to get that bracingness in the upper back. Using the wall, as I said before, is fine. If there's any fear, just come into the wall and have that security behind you. So placing the hands, spreading the fingers, crown of the head to the floor. Outer elbows in, straightening the legs, press down into the hands, walking the feet forward. Now lifting the right leg up, and down. Press into the hands, and now lifting the left leg up. And coming down. And lifting the right leg up. Keep rolling that right thigh in as it lifts. And joining it with the left leg. And now lowering the right leg and lowering the left leg. Check the elbows, check the shoulders. And now lifting the left leg up, rolling the thigh in as we lift it. And then lifting the right leg. Charge the legs. And now lowering the left leg and lowering the right leg. Bending the knees. Holding onto the outer arms. Moving those inner elbows forward. Yoga Mudrasana. Looking up and coming into Shirshasana 2 again. So we're going to do it with both legs together this time. And if that's too challenging, repeat what we just did, one leg at a time, joining the legs up and then coming down. Placing the hands. Crown of the head. Straightening our legs, checking our elbows, checking our shoulders. Walking the feet in. And now lifting both legs up and holding them right where they are parallel to the floor. Urdhva Dandasana. And then all the way up to Shirshasana 2. And then back down through Urdhva Dandasana. Outer elbows in. And then back down. And resting Yoga Mudrasana, changing the cross of the arms. There we go.
Try to move the inner elbows forward. Try to move the trapezius muscles down the back. And coming back up, our last and final time, Shirshasana 2 with both legs coming up, coming down. If that's too much, do one leg at a time. Placing the hands, crown of the head, outer elbows in, elbows to the shoulders. Straightening the legs, and then lifting up, holding here. Push through the balls of the feet, the outer edges of the feet, coming back towards the hips. And then up to Shirshasana 2. Bolt the outer hips towards each other. Outer edges of the feet coming down towards the hips. Elbows to the shoulders. And coming down halfway. Push out through the balls of the feet. And then all the way down. Stretching the arms forward, palms facing each other, the Yoga Mudras. And then coming back up. And we can move this blanket to the side and grab 2 bricks just to have them ready in a few poses we're going to be using them. We're going to be working on our hips a little bit and then bringing the arm strength that we've just engaged into that. So starting from Dandasana. Now reaching, and with the first 2 fingers of the right hand, placing them between the big toe and the index toe of the right foot. And lifting. And now we're going to pull back and forward. Just loosening there. Back and forward. And back and forward. One more time. And back and forward and releasing. Changing sides. Lifting and pulling back and forward and back and forward, back and forward. Last one. And releasing and coming down. Dandasana. Now we're going to bend that right leg. The right arm comes inside and we support the foot from underneath. Lifting it up, the left hand comes over and helps to lift. And we're going to go back and forward. So here we go. Back and forward. Back and forward. Back and forward. One more time. Back and forward. Foot to the ground and Dandasana. Left side. Left hand comes underneath, supporting the back of the foot. Right arm over, lifting. And here we go. Back and forward. Easing that, opening out. And last time. And back down. Dandasana. Right leg. Right hand comes underneath, supports. Left hand on top, lifting up. And this time, try to get the entire leg over the shoulder. And with your left hand, pull the leg down and try to stay conscious of the outside edge of this foot, not doing this, pulling it back to the outer edge of the hip, holding that, squeezing the shoulder, the arm with the leg. And then releasing and changing sides. Supporting the foot underneath, holding, lifting up, bringing it as close to over the shoulder as you can, and using this hop hand to press the leg down, making sure that our foot is reflecting our desire to have the outside edge of the foot travel up the outer leg to the hip. Squeezing. And then releasing and coming down. Placing your bricks on the side. Right leg, right arm supporting the underneath, left hand on top, lifting. Getting that leg high up over the shoulder area, pulling the leg down, and then bringing this hand to the brick. Pulling this leg down and resisting with that bent arm. And then releasing. Dandasan, changing sides. Left hand supports underneath. Right arm over, getting it as high as you can, pulling the leg down and bringing the left hand to the brick, elbow out. Keep pulling the leg down, resisting with the left arm. Squeezing, feeling, igniting the cells there. And releasing. Dandasan. Right leg, right arm underneath, holds the underneath, left hand on top, lifting, bringing it in. Right hand comes to the brick, pull the leg down. Left hand comes to the brick on the left hand side. Press into your hands. And lift the hips up and pull the foot back. And forward. And pull back. And forward. And again, pulling back. And forward. Sitting. And releasing. Dandasan. Left hand side. Bringing that foot up. Left hand comes to the brick. Pull the leg down over the arm. Resist with the arm. Right hand comes to the brick. Preparing, pressing, lifting, and pull that foot, the right foot towards you. And back out. And back in. And back out. And back in. And back out, and sitting, and releasing, Dandasan. Right side, right arm underneath, left arm on top, and over. Right hand in position. Left hand in position. This time we're going to lift that extended left leg up. So ready, pushing, lifting, the foot comes closer, and now lift, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. The heel comes down, slides forward, we sit, and we release, Dandasan. Changing sides, left leg. Left hand underneath, right hand on top, pulling that over. Left hand into position. And then the right. Lifting, the heel comes closer. And now lifting the leg. And 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Heel down, sliding forward, releasing, and Dandasana. And now Baddha Konasana. Fingertips behind, lift the chest. And bringing the legs back up. We're now going to stand up, keeping the 2 bricks behind us for our next pose, entering through Ardha Uttanasana. So standing in front of the bricks, hands on the hips, and coming forward, fingertips to the floor. Ardha Uttanasana. Squeeze the knees, squeeze the thighs, press down into the feet. Roll the inner groins back. Now lift the right heel nice and high. Slide the right arm underneath as deeply as you can. And then bring the heel back down to the ground. Doing the same with the left now. Lift the left heel up as high as you can. Bring the left arm underneath. And then bringing the left heel down. Drop the head down. Now placing the hands on the bricks. Begin to lower the hips so that you're really hooking over the arms and shoulders with the backs of the knees. Press the hands down, the weight into the hands. And now lifting the feet up and crossing the right foot over the left. And now releasing the cross of the feet, coming back down, and back to Ardha Uttanasana. Connecting with our feet, making sure the inner knees are still squeezing up to the inner groins, the front thighs are pushing back, the back ribs are pressing in. Breathe. And now starting with the left side. So lifting the left heel, left arm underneath, and then left heel down. And now right heel, right arm underneath, and then right heel down. Hands to the bricks, lowering the hips down, feel the weight coming to the hands. Feel the squeezingness of the legs on the arms and the shoulders. Make the feet light and lift. Left foot crossed over the right. And 3, and 2, and 1. Uncrossing, feet down, and back out. Ardha Uttanasana. One more time on each side. Right heel lifts, right arm under, right heel down. Left heel lifts, left arm under, left heel down. Hands back to the bricks. Engage. Become alert. The feet become light. Right foot over the left. And then left foot over the right. And then release the cross and straighten the legs. outer edges of the feet coming back towards us. And 3, and 2, and 1. Bending the knees, feet to the mat, and releasing. Ardha Uttanasana. Broaden the shoulders. Slow the breath down, relax the face. Last time, last side, starting with the left. Lifting the left heel, arm underneath, heel down. Lifting the right heel, arm underneath, heel down. Finding the bricks. Igniting that strength there as we lower the hips down. The feet becoming light. Left ankle over the right. And now right ankle over the left. And now extending the legs. That's it. And 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Bending the knees, coming down. Releasing. Ardha Uttanasana. Grip the legs up again. Lengthen the spine. And then placing the hands underneath the hips. Parahastasana. Drop the cervical spine completely. And then the hands coming out. Back up. And Tadasana. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Make sure you're feeling both feet connecting. Both arms descending. The chest lifting. And we are ready to continue. So we can just move these blocks to the side. We'll be coming back to them in a few poses for some twists. And for now, sitting on the mat from Dandasana. Bending the knees and lifting the right leg up, crossing it over and winding the foot under. Lift the chest, Garudasana legs. Femurs coming into the hip sockets. And then unwinding and changing sides. Left leg over, winding, lift. Femurs in, and then unwinding and releasing. One more time, just moving away. I can feel that wall behind me. Lifting the right leg up and over, winding, leaning back, the chest lifted, bring the feet off the floor, extend the arms. And staying like this, we're going to uncross the legs and find Paripurna Navasana. And 3, and 2, and 1. Coming back down, Dandasana. Left hand side. Left leg over. Winding the foot around. Diagonalizing the trunk and lifting the heels off the ground. And then extending the arms. Coming from here to Paripurna Navasana, uncrossing and extending. And 3, lift the chest. And 2, one, coming down and releasing. Dandasana. Using our wall again, you don't have to bring the mat to the wall, we just have to be able to reach it. We want to be arm's distance away. So come a little closer if you had to. From Dandasana legs, inhale, exhale, turn and twist to the right, Balavajasana, this hand pressing, this hand walking back. As you twist to the right, draw the left femur bone into the hip socket. Now turn the head to the front. And come back to the middle. Changing sides. Inhale. Exhale. Use both hands to press, to turn, and as we turn to the left, draw the right femur bone into the hip socket. Now turn the head to the front. And releasing. And back to Dandasana. Okay, back to our bricks now. Jatha Parivartanasana. Turning so that we're using the long edge of the mat. And we want the bricks to be on each side of the outer hips. Pressing in. Arms extended, holding tightly, pressing down. The arms are vibrant, ignited. Lift the feet off the ground. Inhale. And exhale. Bring the legs to the left and climb that left hip onto the block. And then turn and twist to the right. From the upper right abdomen to the upper right shoulder, turn and twist. Draw the left femur bone into the hip socket. And rolling back out to the middle. Coming for the other side now. Inhale. Exhale, the knees to the right, climbing the hip over the block. And then turning and twisting to the left. From the upper abdomen to the upper left shoulder, turn and twist. And keep the right femur bone integrated. Hands coming back to our middle point and feet to the ground. Re-hug the blocks into the hips. Second Jatha Parivartanasana, a little bit of a change in the legs, very small. We're bringing the feet off the mat and instead of having the calves close to the backs of the thighs, we're lifting the calves up so we kind of have a 90-degree angle back here. So go ahead and do that. The knees are still coming towards the chest. Inhale. And exhale, the legs to the left, climbing over the block, keeping that 90-degree angle behind the knees. And turn and twist to the right. The arms vibrantly helping us to twist. And then bringing the legs back up. Make sure your calves haven't come close again to the backs of the thighs. Relift them away. Draw the knees towards the chest. Inhale. And exhale the legs to the right, keeping that 90-degree angle behind the backs of the knees. And turning and twisting to the left. Use the hands to press and pull apart from each other to keep that broadness and to help us to turn and twist more. And then bring the legs back up and feet to the ground and releasing. Okay, pulling the blocks in for our last one now. Making sure they're really touching, squeeze into the outer hips. Feet off the mat. Straighten the legs this time to Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. So full Jatara Parivartanasana. The legs will go to the left, we'll be twisting the trunk to the right. Inhale. And exhale, climb over the bricks and bring the feet towards the hands. And turn and twist to the right. Keep pushing the front thighs to the thigh bones. Keep drawing the left femur bone into the hip sockets. Turning and twisting, turning and twisting. And 3. And 2. And 1. Bring the legs back up. Make sure that your blocks are still there. They have a little tendency to move. Okay, here we go for the other side. Inhale. And exhale over. And twisting and turning to the left. Keep the legs contracted. The muscles wrapping around those bones like a wetsuit. But yield from the abdomen, turning and twisting. And 3. And 2. And 1. Bring the legs back up. Bending the knees. And feet to the floor. Moving to be normal on our mats now. Blocks to the side. Baddha Konasana. And then we're going to reach with our hands for our ankles. If you can't reach, you can take a strap, of course. Just put it here and hold the strap. And to do that, to even try to reach, we have to lift, roll the shoulders back and reach one hand at a time. So that we're kind of in a Siddha Bandha Sarvangasana chest opening in Baddha Konasana. Long, soft, smooth inhalations and exhalations. And then releasing the grip of the hands and bringing the legs back up, rolling over and coming out. Alright, we need 2 bolsters for the next pose, Halasana, or you can of course use your blankets, Sarvangasana blankets, building them up nice and high. And let's meet back on the mat with that equipment. Alright, as you can see, I've positioned myself a little bit close to the wall, so we can just walk our feet up the wall to come over into Halasana. And as said before, if you don't have 2 bolsters, fear not, the blankets are perfectly fine. Same thing, just get that same height. All right, coming in, no straps today. And when we feel ready, walking the feet up the wall. And bringing the feet to the floor behind us. Interlocking the fingers. Stretching the arms straight and rolling each shoulder back. Halasana. Femurs coming into the hip sockets. Keep the elbows pressing down. Keep pushing the front thighs upwards to the sky. And now changing the interlock of the fingers behind the back. Re-roll each shoulder back, maximizing the openings. Press the arms down. Press the back ribs in and up. Front thighs pressing upwards. Sit bones lifting. Inner groins rolling up to the sky. And now releasing the interlock of the fingers, keeping the legs as they are. Bring the hands to back bend hands or Shirshasana 2 hands. You just slide the fingers underneath the bolsters or the blankets that you're using. See that your elbows are not splaying. Draw the outer arms in towards each other. And experimenting with Chakrasana, backward somersault. So walk the feet back, the knees can bend of course, and begin to place pressure into the hands to lift up from that. And then go back to Halasana. And then again bending the knees, walking the feet back. Feeling that weight come to the hands, the elbows staying parallel. The knees coming towards the forehead. And then back to Halasana. And on this third and final time, for those of us who feel ready or up for trying, we're going to roll back, exiting through Chakrasana. So bending the knees, coming in, feeling that weight, using the breath, the exhale to help us through. Inhale. And exhale, roll. And come straight from here to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Relax the cervical spine completely. Stretch the arms and stretch the legs. And then bending the knees and coming back down. Okay, time to use our bolsters in a different way for a little bit of restorative to just cool down and enter a new space, fired by the space we've just created. So we're going to turn the bolster this way.
And then we need 2 blocks, which we have. And we're going to put the second bolster like this. 1 block goes here, supporting that end, and the other block, obviously, comes onto that. You might want to have a little blanket here. I'll put it for those of you who are unsure. All depends on your neck. So having it here, I haven't put it this way, I put it this way, and then we can, if needed, make a little roll to support the cervical spine. All right, strap. Here we go. Coming to sit on our bolsters. And we already have a loop here, we need to make it smaller. We're coming to Supta Padanganasan in this kind of Situ Bandha Savangasan setup. And the exact size of your loop will be determined by the vehicle you're in. So first of all, just putting the loop over, judging as best as you can. And now we're going to move back. And our feet are going to come onto this bolster. And we're going to open the knees. And this is where we see, if we went too tight, we can't open the knees. And if we went too loose, we don't feel the resistance that the strap is bringing. So adjusting as needed. And then we're going to come and lie down. And this is where you can decide, actually I might like to have a little fold here to help the outer edges of my shoulders reach the mat. Or you could roll the blanket up even more and have the fold underneath the neck. I'm going to go for it just underneath the outer shoulders, making sure that your sacrum is moving towards the bolster so that there's no arch in the lower back. And then the arms in their position, elbows in line with the shoulders, so not lower, not higher, which hunches the trapezius muscles, as in line as possible. And closing the eyes, finding Ujjayi, 1 breath. Keep inviting the entire abdominal area to pool towards the lower back, like a bowl of softness.
And now we're just going to come out of this. So first of all, bring the knees towards each other and taking the strap off. And then gently rolling over. And lightly coming up, free of tension, using the hands to come up. And from here, we're going to come to Shavasana. So one bolster behind the knees. Blanket as needed for the neck and the back of the skull. Sacrum moving towards the bolster. And we can take the strap and just put that over the eyes, over the outer ears. Placing our arms, ensuring that we've really lengthened the collarbones and rolled the shoulders back so that the sternum plate, the solar plexus, the entire front spine is open. And with an exhale, melting into the earth, into the embrace of the planet. Shavasana. Now just wiggling the fingers a little bit until we feel able to move the arms and place the hands on the abdomen. And then rolling over and gently making our way back out. And welcome back. Our practice is complete. Hope you'll let me know how it was for you. Look forward to practicing again together soon. Take good care. Namaste.